Asian markets have already taken a beating, with overseas investors worried about a double-dip recession here in the U.S.
And our coverage continues live in Tokyo with ABC's Akiko Fujita. Good morning, Akiko.
Good morning to you. Well, the Nikkei closed down nearly 4% today. And to give you some perspective, that is the lowest since March, when the triple disasters out here sent markets tumbling. There are increasing concerns the U.S. could be headed back into recession, and that's clearly weighing on Asian investors. Asian markets were down across the board today. The Nikkei opened down more than 4% on news of a dismal day on Wall Street, while the numbers were worse in other parts of Asia. At one point, the key index for South Korea's Kospi and Hong Kong's Hang Seng inched towards 5%. Now, the big concern out here in Tokyo has been the strength of the Japanese currency. Investors have turned to the yen, which is considered a safe haven, as they dump the dollar over concerns over the U.S. economy and that debt crisis in Washington. The yen inched towards a record high against the dollar earlier this week, and that forced the government and central bank to intervene yesterday. The move provided temporary relief, but we are seeing the yen inching back up again today, and that's creating a lot of headaches for exporters out here who have already had a pretty tough year.
That's right. And the first question for you, Akiko, the Japanese economy has been struggling since the earthquake and nuclear crisis in March. How does this latest news complicate the recovery there?
Well, it certainly makes things a lot more difficult because the strong yen really batters the exporters. And this is an economy that is driven by exports, whether it be cars or electronics. You know, Toyota had a pretty staggering number they put out, saying they lose more than $380 million every time that yen inches up. We've seen it go up 4% in the last month alone.
Akiko, speaking of the fluctuation of the yen, how will this impact American consumers buying Japanese products? Are these products going to be cheaper now?
Well, it's going to cost a lot more. So, every time we see the yen go up, it makes the made in Japan products sold in the U.S. more expensive. And we're seeing the effects. We heard from Honda earlier this week saying their net profit between April and June fell 88%. And then Toyota saying that theirs fell 99%. So those are pretty staggering numbers, and we're sure to see the effects in the months ahead as well.
Akiko, thank you so much.